Welcome to today's review of a quantitative study on whether or not web conferencing is as effective as face-to-face instruction when teaching new hires at the Customer Care Center. Let's go ahead and take a look at the objectives of this review. Upon completion of this review, you should be able to describe the educational technology of web conferencing and explain how the research study will be conducted. Let's take a look at web conferencing. The goal of this research study is to evaluate the effectiveness of web conferencing in regard to learner retention as compared to face-to-face trainings. Web conferencing is an online service by which you can hold live meetings, conferences, presentations, and trainings via the internet. For the purposes of this study, the web conferencing technology I will be using to facilitate the classes is Adobe Connect, and I will be comparing the results to those obtained from a random sampling of students from our recent fall new hire season. The research question we will be answering is, what is the impact of learner retention when information is presented through web conferences rather than face-to-face instruction? Participants for this study will include 3 new hire classes of 20 associates each that will attend class via Adobe Connect, and they will be compared to 60 associates randomly selected from the previous fall season. This will ensure that the participants are a typical new hire for the Customer Care Center and represent our average employee's skill level and background. Although the test participants will be selected based on convenience rather than a true random sample, the 3 classes will allow for the application of inter-rater reliability to help ensure the validity of the results. The results for the test population will then be compared to a random sampling of 60 new hires from this past fall season. Again, inter-rater reliability will be applied to ensure that the facilitator or corresponding class did not have an impact on the students' test scores. All new hires will be assessed as they go through the training process. The test group results will be compared to that of the control group to determine the impact of web conferencing technology on the learner's retention. This same test will be given again to all participants after a period of 60 days to evaluate their long-term retention of the trained concepts. This test-retest will be a great way to gauge the learner's retention over a period of time and will speak directly to the impact on his or her retention of the trained concepts. On screen are 5 example questions. As you can see, each one provides some details about a scenario and then requires the associate to answer a question about the procedure that needs to be completed in order to assist the customer. Participants in this study will go through or have gone through a 2-week new hire training experience. The only difference will be the way the information is presented to them. The control group will be taken from a sampling of students from the past fall season who experienced a traditional face-to-face facilitation version of the new hire training. The test group will experience class being taught via Adobe Connect. The same information will be presented to both groups on the same days and in the same order. This will be done to ensure the validity of the data being collected. In order to collect the data and evaluate the learner's retention, quizzes will be given daily utilizing an online quiz software called Kia. This tool will allow for the data to be collected and then evaluated based on the group. The grouping will also allow for validity testing to be completed as well. Utilizing the quizzes daily will allow for the continuous monitoring of the results to ensure the reliability throughout the process and allow us to understand if one procedure or process is better learned through web conferencing or traditional stand and deliver methods. All of the data collected will be evaluated for homogeneity and then compared to the data collected from the prior season scores. The final report will appear as a standard cross comparison for test scores to identify the amount of improvement or degradation caused by the substitution of web conferencing for face-to-face facilitation. In conclusion, these test results will guide our thinking as we work to continually evolve our training program at the L Brands Customer Care Center. I anticipate that we might see an improvement by using web conferencing, But my primary goal of this study is to ensure that there is no degradation in the learner's retention when utilizing this technology. Because this is the way that we are going to have to begin doing all of our trainings, I want to ensure that there is no loss of information retention for our learners. Again, my name is Jason Williams, and I thank you for taking the time to review this quantitative study with me.